Hey everyone, it's Alex Miller at Capnion. Today, the headline I'm going to drill into is that Scarlett Johannson, the famous Hollywood actress, is suing OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, among other tools, for reportedly ripping off her voice against her consent. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about broader dynamics. I'm going to talk about me making all these videos. I'm going to talk about some things I've seen about Pinterest. And unfortunately, the broader narrative here is I think this is one of the more legitimate areas of AI doomsaying, that my heart bleeds for Scarlett Johannson and all the other people that are going to be in similar positions in coming years. Especially because I think it's going to be really tough to prove something amiss happened and get restitution, and just in general people are going to misbehave and it's going to be difficult to stop them. So I will begin with the primary facts about Scarlett Johannson. OpenAI recently released a new tool. You can interact with it via voice. So you talk to it, it talks back to you. Of course, it has to have some kind of a voice. And when this tool was released, Scarlett Johannson felt that it sounded a little bit too much like her. That's already enough that my heart bleeds for her, because that's kind of creepy. But in the background, also, apparently, they had approached her explicitly about using her voice, and she said no. And then also, I'm not sure they're more than rumors, but Scarlett Johansson was in this film, Her, where she provided a voice to an AI character. And the scuttlebutt is this is one of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's favorite movies, which makes it make a little more sense that he would be a little too desperate to use her voice. So she is suing, you ripped off my voice without permission. And personally, I think they probably did, and I hope she wins. I am not sure that she will. What is the riposte from OpenAI? Well, they say that they just hired another voice actor that happened to sound a lot like her. And this is where you can see that things actually are quite murky, in that if this is true, and of course it's very plausible, it's a big planet with a lot of people on it. Yeah, it's her voice, this voice actor. It's not Scarlett Johansson's voice. And it's tough to say that Scarlett Johansson has any say in it. Maybe she can say, well, I popularized the voice. It's sort of a trademark that people are reacting to it in a particular way because of me and my brand and the films I've made. But I kind of expect these won't fly because, once again, this other voice actor, their voice also belongs to them. And if you want, I would add, it's very interesting. You can go deep down a rabbit hole I can't include here about all these voice experts have analyzed the voices, and they're really super similar in ways that are really beyond my expertise, until you can deduce that people have nose bones of a particular shape in common, et cetera, et cetera. But once again, who's to say there's not another person out there that has Scarlett Johansson's nose bones? So that's really tough. It really does seem like OpenAI was looking to make a robot that sounded like Scarlett Johansson, specifically her and not something else. Double meaning there, title of the movie. But then, well, they maybe did it in a way that is pretty defensible in court. And it's unclear to me, once again, I'm not a lawyer, what's going to happen. It's kind of close to home. I make all these videos, and one liability making all these videos is someone could use them via an AI tool to make an AI clone of me to make more videos, and I have to confront the possibility that one day there's just a weird AI version out there of me talking to people on the internet and saying things I wouldn't say. You can already go to websites and talk to fake AI Elon Musk and fake AI Bill Gates. I am not particularly sensitive to these things, and I'm going to be a little bit personal for a second. I do not regard myself as an especially distinctive looking person. I'm a pretty standard, generic German, Italian, American white guy. I've met people in my life that were doppelgangers of myself. And because this is true, that if I came across an AI that looked a whole lot like me and sounded a whole lot likely, well, are they ripping me off, or are they ripping off that guy I met one time in college that everybody correctly told me looked exactly like me? And there's not a great way to answer that question. And now I move on to Pinterest and get really pretty weird on, I think, how deeply murky it is. Pinterest, I'm an enthusiastic Pinterest user, no inside information, seems to be struggling right now with a flood of AI content. And since this is primarily for LinkedIn, which is a business website, the business angle is, well, you want to sell clothes on Pinterest, you need models. You need people that look a particular way that you can have try on the clothes and take pictures, and hopefully, if you find the right people, that's going to persuade people. So if you have AI that can generate these kind of images real fast, that's amazing. Yeah, it's cheap. You can get a lot more out there. The very high level of flexibility. You don't even need to ship the clothes anywhere. So that's very, very tantalizing from a business standpoint. A lot of this content, every single, and I like to look at pictures of attractive women wearing nice clothes, I'll admit it. They look very much like easily identifiable famous celebrities a lot of the time. Are they ripping off those celebrities? Probably. I'm not sure. But then you have to look at, well, if you had hired a real model, you've really sifted all of humanity, looking for a person that looks some kind of particular way. If you went to a runway fashion show, you, if you like, could easily notice that the models all look some particular way. Male underwear models have great abs, etc. So if an AI model comes out looking some very particular way, like some particular famous, beautiful person, it actually is quite murky. Well, are they ripping off the image of that person, or did we select that person out of a crowd for looking a particular way because we liked it? And then, of course, when we did a parallel process with an AI, we ended up with somebody that looked like that too. So if I'm trying to sell men's underwear, and it so happens that I decide that all my AI models should have awesome abs, I'm not really ripping off the male models that have awesome abs. It's just that's what sells men underwear, apparently. I'm not in the underwear business. And it's just really tough. And since this is a little bit close to home to me, and I just really, my heart bleeds for people that might feel violated by this stuff. My personal opinion is that a ton of people are going to get their identity ripped off, and that's really horrible. And status quo, absent new laws, new technology, it's going to be really hard to prove anything in court or otherwise compel people to behave themselves. And it's certainly going to be rough for a while. And I expect in the future, there has to be some kind of new equilibrium, but it really could be an equilibrium where it just doesn't mean the same thing. Everybody kind of has to confront that their face, in some sense, isn't very unique. I really hope something else happens, but this is an area where I see real danger. There's already shady stuff happening, even at companies. OpenAI is pretty respectable and out in the open. And this is really something to watch, because I think conditions right now are kind of ugly and there's going to be bad behavior. So keep your eyes peeled.